Hello again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. What I want to talk about today is the concept of time, which I had mentioned in my previous video in regards to the three concepts, which was discipline, consistency, and time. So time in regards to what I'm about to speak on is in regards to the financial nature of time, more specifically the power of compounding. Okay, so that's what I want to focus on at this point. So Albert Einstein, who knows Albert Einstein? Who has heard of Albert Einstein? I assume everyone has heard of Albert Einstein, obviously very, very famous. So he actually had a comment regarding time and compounding. Okay, he said that it was the eighth wonder of the world. So I believe what he said was, "He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it." Okay, you can let that sit with you for a minute. A bit profound, but it actually carries a lot of weight. Okay, so basically, if you understand it, you can certainly benefit from it, which is what I am referring to. As far as the paying for it part, that I don't want to touch on. I want to talk primarily about the earning part of his quote, of his statement. Okay, so just momentarily, I will give you an example of compound, a simple example of compounding. But first, I want to mention a concept that maybe you have heard. It's a term, FIRE, F-I-R-E, I believe, well, that is the acronym, F-I-R-E. What it stands for is Financial Independence, Retire Early. Okay, once again, FIRE, Financial Independence, Retire Early. Okay? Now, it all sounds good, right? Who wouldn't want financial independence and who wouldn't want to retire early, right? However, what it basically is a very extreme way of living, which basically early on in your working career, basically it is a way, and the plan is to basically live as frugally as you possibly can, maximizing your savings and minimizing your expenses to an extreme degree. Okay, that is the most extreme idea regarding FIRE. Okay, there are variations of FIRE, but just to give you what the extreme degree of the concept of FIRE is, that essentially is what FIRE is. So that at the end of that, the idea is that you would then retire somewhere in your 30s, maybe your 40s, because the idea is for you to achieve essentially 25 times your expenses is what you're looking to achieve to then be able to have that last. Okay, I personally don't abide by that, but again, I'm giving you one extreme of what I have seen as far as a plan for early retirement. Okay, so let's go back to my example as far as time and compounding is concerned. So a simple example, let's say you have $100 beginning of the year, you put it in some investment, let's just say it earns a nice round 10%. Okay, at the end of year one, okay, your $100 investment at 10%, at the end of the first year, it'll be worth $110. Okay, simple math. Okay, now at the beginning of the second year, now you're starting with $110, again at 10%. So 10% of 110 is $11. So now at the end of year two, how much do you have? $121, correct? Okay, and so on and so forth. So that's just a simple example of what compounding can do. Okay, now that example is just assuming that you started with $100 and you never added to your principal. Okay, again, I'm just pointing out a simple example, okay, of the power of compounding. Okay, so so that's what I wanted, just again for you to understand the basics of what compounding is and how it essentially works. Okay, the other thing that I have mentioned before is the 401k plan, which most companies do provide. for your retirement, for the employee's retirement benefit. And I've mentioned that previously, and I'm a firm believer of it. Again, primarily because it applies those three principles that I've mentioned: discipline, consistency, and time. Okay? Again, it incorporates all three, because essentially you put in some amount of money, it comes out of your paycheck, and the discipline is that you continue to contribute. Consistency, once again, because it's every paycheck that you are contributing to the plan, okay? And time, assuming that you got into the plan early on and you continued to contribute. All of those three concepts then apply as far as your company 401k is concerned. So one thing I wanted to share with you, again, going back to some life experience, which I also like to incorporate as well, was there was a friend of mine, actually a very good friend of mine. Okay, we were talking about 401k. This was a number of years ago. And he basically told me that he was advised that the only time you should contribute to a 401k plan is if the company is providing a company match, which essentially means that the company is going to add money to your contribution, okay, at the company expense, okay? That was the advice that was provided to my friend. Now, the match obviously is a nice bonus. It's essentially free money, which is great. But that should not be the deciding factor, in my opinion, to decide whether or not you should contribute to a 401k. Because there are so many other benefits, again, applying those three principles once again: discipline, consistency, and time. That is essentially automatic for you, regardless of whether or not the company is actually providing a match. Okay? So that was one. The other experience I want to share was same friend. He was advised that, as far as investing, general investing is concerned, that it only makes sense for you to invest if you have a minimum of $100,000 to start. Okay, let that sink in for a minute. How many of you have $100,000 to start whenever you want to pick a point? 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever the point is. How many people had $100,000 to start? Anyone? Okay, not me. Sorry, my hand goes down. Not me. So again, I don't believe that was good advice. Okay, you can start investing at any point in time. Okay. When you're young, you don't have a lot of money, but if you can put away some amount of money, again, time is what's on your side the younger that you are, okay? So those were two experiences that I want to share that a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, had experienced. So I wanted to share those with you of what I personally believe really was not good financial advice. So in closing, I just want you to be careful, okay? When people give you advice, think about it, consider it, and make sure that, for sure, bounce that off of somebody else if it really doesn't make sense to you. So again, I just caution you to be careful when others are providing advice to you. Okay? All right, thanks again everyone for watching my video. And again, if you could please like it, share it, and or subscribe, again, greatly appreciate it. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.